This story looks like it's about the scandals, frauds, and collapses that changed finance. But it's really about money, timing, and power. How does a billion-dollar empire vanish overnight? For decades, the world of finance has dazzled with stories of genius, innovation, and outsized returns. Wall Street's glass towers and Silicon Valley's open-plan offices have promised not just profit, but progress. Names like Enron, Lehman Brothers, and FTX became synonymous with the cutting edge, emblems of ambition and vision. The public image was always immaculate: sharp suits, confident forecasts, and the quiet assurance that the system, though complex, was ultimately under control. People trusted because the stories were so compelling. Enron was hailed as the most innovative company in America, a paragon of deregulation and market wizardry. But Lehman Brothers, with more than 150 years of history, seemed as permanent as the skyline itself. Theranos, led by the enigmatic Elizabeth Holmes, promised to revolutionize blood testing and democratize healthcare. FTX, the crypto giant, rode a wave of digital optimism. Its founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, cast as the quirky genius who would make finance fair. These weren't just companies. They were stories of what finance could be, and people wanted to believe. The checks and balances, auditors, regulators, blue-chip investors were presumed to be ironclad. If the smart money was in, the logic went, then the risk must be manageable. But beneath the surface, the signals were not always what they seemed. Enron's profits were built on accounting alchemy, shifting debts off the balance sheet and booking speculative gains as real income. Lehman's leverage soared, with risky mortgage-backed securities masked by clever accounting maneuvers like Repo 105. Theranos operated in a black box, shrouding its technology in secrecy and silencing doubters. FTX's balance sheet, it turned out, was a house of cards, with customer funds quietly funneled into risky bets by a small circle of insiders. In each case, the numbers looked good until they didn't. The hidden weakness was often a culture of secrecy enabled by complexity, where the need to maintain the myth outweighed the need for transparency. The pressure point always came, sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once. For Enron, it was a skeptical analyst's question that set off a cascade of doubt. Lehman's moment arrived as the subprime mortgage crisis exposed the fragility of its assets, and liquidity evaporated almost overnight. Theranos unraveled when a Wall Street Journal investigation pierced the veil of secrecy, revealing that its technology simply didn't work. FTX's collapse began with a leaked balance sheet and a crisis of confidence, triggering a run on the exchange that exposed the gaping hole where customer funds should have been. When the music stopped, even the most sophisticated investors were left scrambling. Rehook. The fallout was swift and brutal. Enron's bankruptcy erased tens of billions in market value and decimated employee pensions. Lehman's collapse sent shockwaves through the global financial system, catalyzing the 2008 financial crisis and triggering a cascade of failures and bailouts. Theranos left investors, patients, and employees betrayed, its founder facing criminal charges. FTX's implosion wiped out billions in crypto wealth and shattered trust in an industry built on the promise of decentralization. In each case, money vanished, reputations were destroyed, and the illusion of control gave way to chaos. Regulators, once complacent, found themselves accused of missing the warning signs. The public, watching from the sidelines, was left to wonder how so many could be fooled for so long. Insiders, investors, and rivals learned harsh lessons. Some walked away chastened, others emboldened. At Enron, whistleblowers like Sharon Watkins risked everything to speak out, while competitors quietly picked over the wreckage. Lehman's rivals, some aided by government intervention, absorbed its assets and talent. In the wake of Theranos, venture capitalists became more cautious, at least for a time, about charismatic founders and secretive startups. FTX's demise led to soul-searching across the crypto industry, with institutional investors reevaluating their due diligence and regulators promising a tougher stance. Yet beneath the public statements, many insiders understood that the system's incentives, growth at any cost, innovation over regulation, remained largely intact. The lesson is clear, and yet it is often ignored. Financial systems run on trust, but trust is not a substitute for scrutiny. Hype is a powerful accelerant, magnifying both risk and reward. When complexity is wielded as a shield, it can hide not just innovation, but deception. The checks that failed, by auditors, regulators, and investors, were not just technical oversights, but failures of skepticism and accountability. In every case, the warning signs were there, flickering at the margins, dismissed as noise until it was too late. The cycle repeats because the forces that drive markets, ambition, competition, and the hope for outsized returns never disappear. Systems can be improved, but they are only as strong as the willingness of people to ask hard questions, even when the answers threaten the story everyone wants to believe. Stay curious and never stop asking what's below the surface.